Hey, it's the Piss Days here, and this is my third part in the series of why you have a shooting star or a scoring star and your team is still pretty crap. Now, I've been through in the first one or two parts, Knucklehead 1 and Knucklehead 2. If you're interested in who I talk about, go back and have a look at it. In this one, I'm not actually going to name the person until the end. And this is because I think it's... a lot of people probably wouldn't agree with it, but whatever. Now, this person, when you look at his stats and his accolades and things, he actually seems to be quite good. He scores a lot of points. He gets a lot of assists and steals. Now, why is this person no good? Well, first we look at his career on-off stats. Now, I've talked about career on-off before. Now, that means that what's your team like when you're on the court compared to what you're off the court, defensively and offensively. Now, this guy, even though he scored heaps and heaps of points, there's no difference when he's on the court or off the court. Now, defensively, he's -3. That's good. He's actually a good defensive player, but people wouldn't even recognise that. They'd probably completely overlook at that and think he was one of the best offensive players of all time. But he's not really, and there's a good reason why. Now, this guy scored a lot of points. But why is it that he's just not as good on the court as you would think he would be? And it all comes down to true shooting percentage. Now, I explained this before in the last one, but it's got to do with your efficiency when you add up your field goal, your three-pointers and your free throw, and it relates to how many possessions you take in scoring that. Now, the league average is 51. Now, if your team scores 51, then you're going to be an average team, unless you're really good at rebounding and defense. Well, this guy who took up over 30% of his team's possessions had a true shooting percentage of 51. Now, that's going to obviously mean that if you're taking that many shots and you're an average efficiency scorer, that means you're going to be an average team, unless your players are making up for it in rebounding and defense. And that's pretty much the story in this guy's case. Over his career, he pretty much won as many games as he lost. And people go, no, it's all his teammates. If he had good teammates, he'd be a champion. No, that's not how it works. The fact is that he's hogging the ball. Instead of acting like a true guard and trying to set people up, what he's doing is he's trying to score, and when he can't score, he dishes off to someone like, here you go, you can score now. The problem with that is it's always a bailout. He's getting his assist, but he's also turning the ball over incredibly. I mean, assist to ratio of less than 2-to-1 is crap for someone who plays point guard and shooting guard, which was how he split his career up. Sure, he's getting 6 assists, but he's getting so many turnovers, and it's not funny. Anyway, this guy actually led his team to the NBA Finals one year, and you're probably thinking, well, why is that if he's just average? Well, the fact is that year, the team he was on was an elite rebounding team, the best in the league, one of the best defensive teams in the league. Now, he's a good defender, and he actually did help the team on offense, so he was important in that regard. But what's he got to do with rebounding? He's not making them an elite team on rebounding. And at best, he's a defensive cog in their defensive scheme. So it's not like he carried a group of scrubs to the NBA final. That is just completely incorrect. I mean, if anyone knows anything about basketball, it's a team game, and there's more than just scoring points. There's defense and rebounding. If you don't get those three right, efficient scoring, defense and rebounding, you're not going to win. He was lucky. He was lucky that he was on that team that year and he had a good coach. I mean, if I was his coach, I'd fucking bench him for being such a selfish hog. Anyway, it's a shame because this guy had probably the most amount of talent, athletic, speed, ball handling you could think of. He was an amazing, gifted player who completely fucked up his talent, and that's why he's knucklehead number 3. Now, you might want to know what the answer is. But first you've got to know what the question is. The question is, how do you have so much talent and you ruin it? The answer is that all you're attempting to do is put up points regardless of how inefficient you are and how shit your team does. You just want the glory. You want to add up points no matter how fucking awful your shooting is. Because at the end of the day, when you're shooting and getting like a million fucking shots in a game, you're going to score that many points. I don't care who you are. So the answer to the question is, how do you ruin it? You become a selfish asshole who doesn't practice.